Welcome back, and thank you for keeping it Friday Briefing. Well, it's about that time where we head to school with none other than Willis, the word master, and learn some proper pronunciation. Willis, what do you have for us?
Well, I have a lot for and from our dear viewers, and remember that last week I gave a promise, and that promise is right here. So just wait for it as we go through tonight's show, because I'll have just to ensure that I fulfill that promise. But our first word in our collections of the week is right here. It's a noun and can also function as a verb, but it means any material that produces heat or power. You say fuel, fuel, or fuel. Don't say fuel. Fuel, no, that is what our eyes see. You say fuel or fuel. That is the way to pronounce that word. Our second word is also right here. Can you try it? You say diesel, diesel. Don't say diesel or diesel. The right way to pronounce this word is diesel. Diesel. We are talking about the heavy oil that is used instead of petrol, or when we talk about gas. But you say diesel. A bit tricky. Now, let's get to the next word. It's right here. In British English, we talk about paraffin. But this one, you say kerosene. Kerosene. Don't say kerosene. Kerosene, no. Remember, it's a noun, and you have also to remember that it's that oil which is commonly called paraffin, as I've put it. So, please say kerosene, not kerosene. Now, let's go to the next word. You can realize that for tonight, there is something I'm trying to do, because this week, people are talking a lot about them. Now, this one, how do you say it? Don't say petroleum. Petroleum is like saying stadium or podium. You say petroleum, petroleum. And you say stadium, you also say podium. So petroleum, no, petroleum. Let's get to the next word. It's tricky, and it's the red substance in the blood that carries oxygen. So this word, how do you pronounce it? Don't say hemoglobin. Hemoglobin, no. You say hemoglobin. Hemoglobin. So that is the way to pronounce this word. Now, let's get to the next one. It's a verb, and it means to break a promise or an agreement. To break a promise or an agreement. You say renege, and you can also say renege. That is to renege on something and to renege on something. That is the way to go. Remember, I'm talking about RP. That is received pronunciation, the standard form of British pronunciation based on educated speech. So let's carry on, but remember, nobody is perfect. Let's get to the next word. The word is right here. It's a noun, and it means a man who hates women. A man who hates women. Now, you say misogynist. Misogynist. Don't say misogynist, misogynist, no. You say misogynist. That is the pronunciation. Then the next one is not very common. It's an adjective, and it means extremely large. Extremely large. You say stupendous. Stupendous. There is that stress on pe. Stupendous. That is the pronunciation. And remember, I've said it's an adjective. You can talk of stupendous profit or stupendous costs. That is something that is always very important for you, especially if you are in a career of serious communication, where delivery of intended messages have to be delivered in a clear and effective way. Let's get to this word. This is a verb, and you say hesitate. To hesitate, that is to be slow to do something, to hesitate. You may realize that letter S takes the voiced sound Z, When I talk about the voiced sound Z, I'm talking about a sound that is produced with the vibration of the vocal cords. So you say hesitate, not hesitate. Hesitate, we hear a lot of it commonly or locally, but please, the right way is hesitate, to hesitate. Now, let's get to our last word in the collections of the week, and it's right here. It has two acceptable or alternative pronunciations. You can say legume, legume, and you can also say legume. Now, we are talking about any plant with seeds in a long pod, just like beans, beans or peas. Now, you say legume and legume. Both are acceptable. Otherwise, let's get straight to our feedback. Those who sent in words throughout the week, and we'll just have to handle them the KTN way, because valuing those viewers who are with us at this moment and those who did not also get time, because you never know, somebody may be busy. But I've said the KTN way, where we say, welcome home and you get the whole story. Anyway, Dr. Peter W. Saula, if you like, Solar of Moi University, Eldoret, you say that first word is dessert. Dessert, that is pudding, D-E-S-S-E-R-T, dessert. The second one, dessert, dessert, with the sound S, that is, dessert is D-I-S-S-E-R-T. Then we have Arnold Kithinji and Neville Masaba. You say divert, divert. The noun form is diversion, diversion. So there is that sound J in the noun form. The noun form, you say diversion. Now, let's get to Sheila, if you like. Sheila, that is how we pronounce that word locally, but the right pronunciation is Sheila Mulinya of Nairobi. You are right. You say counsel, counsel, C-O-U-N-S-E-L, a counsel, just like defense counsel and senior counsel. Please avoid saying senior counsel. Senior counsel, no. Senior counsel. Now, counsel is C-A-N-C-E-L. Let's get them right. Now, Daniel Idungu, you say impasse, impasse, and you can also say impasse, but avoid saying impasse. Impasse, no. Your second word, debris, debris or debris. Don't say debris. Avoid that. Manu Waliuba and Esther Wopata, you say luncheon and archaeological. Archaeology, archaeological. That is the way to go. Don't say archaeology. Archaeological, no. Just like archipelago, not archipelago. Then we have one man here calling himself Major Bounty. You say apostle. Apostle. Don't say apostle. Apostle. Apostle, no. You simply say apostle with T, being silent, just like jostle, to jostle for something, not to jostle or jostle or jostle. Jostle and apostle. Now we have John M. Waidaka, aka Libero, if you like, Libero of Nyeri, bequeath, to bequeath. Job Award of Nairobi, you say megalomania, megalomaniac, and your last word, arachnid. Now we have Peter Mwangi Njeru of Thika, simile, simile, not simile. Then we have recipe, recipe. Don't say recipe. Then we have Sharon Sergio of Suneka, if you like, also of Sironga Girls High School, a very wonderful school in this country. Just like all the other schools that are really working hard, we love our schools. And we have always to give all the teachers and students a salute as a matter of encouragement. Very important future leaders. Now, we have here that Sharon Sergio of Suneka or Sironga. You say Phantomagnorias. Phantomagnorias, a name that is fairly new to me. Fairly new to me, but that is the way, Sharon. And we have Vincent Omondi of Kisumu. You say accountant, insolvency, and reconciliation. Don't say reconciliation, no. Reconciliation. Then we have Ezra Orandi of China Railways, CRH5. CRH5. And then please you say auto electrician. auto-electrician. Don't say auto. It is auto-electrician. And you also say this word, which is name, you say Ezra. Simply Ezra, the way it is spelled. So Ezra and auto-electrician for Ezra Orandi or China Railways. We have Faith Mora of Nyabioto Kisi. You say poof, poof. And then you have Paul, Paul. Don't say Paul. Paul, no. Paul, just like soul, whole, mole. AU functions as a digraph that is a combination of two letters representing one sound, and it takes the long sound O. Paul, soul, mole, whole. There you go, Faith Mora. Then we have Jimmy Gakio. You say govern, to govern. Then government, government. That N is not silent. Not silent. It is pronounced or articulated, if you like. Then we have Paul Mwaura Kamau of Central African Republic. Paul Mwaura, you say wherewithal, wherewithal, a word which is not very common. Then succored, succored. Then your last word, cavalry. Then we have Tom Obiero and Sam Omwenga of Kisi. You say caught with a long sound O for past tense of catch and for mahakama. C-O-U-R-T, court. C-A-U-G-H-T, court. So the two are homophones. Then we also have C-O-A-T. You say coat, coat, just like C-O-T-E, coat, like Cote d'Ivoire, Cote d'Ivoire. Now, I hope I'm getting that sound or that name of that country correct. I hope I'm getting it correct, but you say coat for C-O-T-E. Then we have the last one, C-O-T. You say cot, cot. Now, we have Kenneth Mutoro. If you like Ken Mutoro, you say liquor, odor, that is that bad smell, odor. Then liquor, liquor. You have aegis. Don't say aegis. Aegis, aegis, no. Aegis. Then your next word, you say euthanasia, euthanasia. Don't say euthanasia, no. Euthanasia. And lastly, you say anesthesia, anesthesia, or anesthesia. I always say, just watch Mind Your Language, your favorite segment every Friday night, and send in the words. You'll always get it right here on KTN and only on KTN. Now, let's get to Patwako of Kindu Bay. You say fairy, fairy. Now, F-A-I-R-Y, fairy. Now, F-E-R-R-Y, you say fairy. Then you say deteriorate, deteriorate. Now, that's a tricky one. Deteriorate. Then lastly, you say lieutenant in British English. In American English, you say lieutenant. Lieutenant, British, lieutenant, that is American. Then we have Peter Charia. Peter Charia of Embu, you say Esau. That name is Esau, not Esau. And finally, your last word, you say Pharaoh. Pharaoh. In English, you say Pharaoh. But in Kiswahili, you can say Pharaoh or Firauni. Then we have here Joshua Maina and Evelyn. Keep it up. It's KTN. Magi wa Magu, Leonard Omulo Orondo, Rinewa Timb. This is Rindewa. Rindewa Timb, Miano Kibocha of Nakuru, Catherine Chepkoech, Grace Mutunga, Maurice Irungu, PhD. You say PhD, not PhD. So, Maurice Irungu, PhD, keep it up because we are learning, and learning has no full stop for anybody on earth. Now, Chacha Samson and Mahmoud Tofik of Mandera, always KTN, and it Mind Your Language. Good or acceptable pronunciations. Otherwise, let's get straight now to our surprise word for tonight. You say flute, flute. Don't say flute, flute. Then we go to the word that I promised about, and that is now under confusing words. The first one, this one you say non, non-profitable, non-governmental, non-existent, especially when you are using British English, non. Now, the last two, N-O-N-E, none, none. And this one also, N-U-N, you say none. So the last two words are homophones. Different spellings and meanings, same pronunciation. So get it right. Non, none, none. That is demystified, made simple now for you. Let's get to spelling. Those words that are tricky in spelling. It reminds me about the time when former US President Barack Obama came to Kenya, and there was certain, writings, especially a billboard that had this one with DGE. Please, this is not the way to spell privilege. Privilege has only a G and nothing like a D. I know many people get confused when we remember about the word knowledge, but please, it only has a G, privilege. So the upper word where I have a tick, that is the right way to spell this word. And that is it. Then we go to the much asked about words. Now, the first one, don't say aborigine, say aborigine, aborigine. The second one, don't say hyperbole. Hyperbole, no. You say hyperbole, hyperbole, not hyperbole that we commonly hear and innocently use locally. Now, the next one, you say karaoke. A bit tricky because it's a borrowed word from Japanese. So you say karaoke, not karaoke or karaoke that we have locally as a name, but you say karaoke, karaoke, not karaoke. Now, the last one, you say vigilante, vigilante, not vigilante that we commonly hear a lot around us locally. Please say vigilante, not vigilante. So you may realize that the E that is in the ending of all these words takes the sound E, not E. So we've said aborigine, hyperbole, karaoke, and vigilante. Then we go now to the phonetic symbols. And today, that is tonight, we have what for you? I know those phoneticians or those who like matters of phonetics must be smiling because they know about it. That is the inverted V. It represents the mid-central sound, the short one, just like in the word fun, hurt, sun, one. That is past tense of win. Don't say one, it's one. You can see the transcription, one. Then we have laugh, to laugh. And then finally, rough, rough. So when you are checking in a good dictionary, or a dictionary, you can also pronounce it like that. When you are checking the pronunciation in those guides which are given in front of the head words, please, when you see this symbol, it's the symbol that represents the sound just like in H-U-T, hut, hut. But when you talk about H-A-T, you'll realize it, hat, hat, hut. That is important in understanding what we call the sound values of letters or letter sequences. Otherwise, the next one is right here, but not for tonight. It's for next week. We have these two words. Can you try them wherever you are? I know. The problem is, do we say echo? Do we say eco? Do we say ego? Do we say ego? You'll have the answer from KTN next Friday. Otherwise, that is a promise from Willis. So expect it. If you want to interact with me throughout the week, you can always go to Twitter, and the handle is at Willis Ochieng1, at Willis Ochieng1. Dear viewers, that's about it for tonight. And on behalf of my able cameraman, Fred Moturi, it's time now to take you back to Nairobi.
Thank you very much, Willis, and of course, Fred, for that. Wonderful there. It's always good to learn.
Quite so. I'm anticipating next week's words. Egocentric, egocentric.
I don't even want to try.
I can't wait.
Well, anyway, that's how we close things here on the Friday Briefing. Thank you very much for watching from the beginning to the end. I am Ashley Mazuri. Our sign language interpreter is Marisha Witi.
As always, it's a pleasure to have you with us from the tail or from the start to the end. My name is Jesse Rogers. Have yourself a good night.
See you tomorrow on Weekend Prime, and don't forget to get your copy of the Saturday Standard.